never talked to the boys that sat on the benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
What is going on, Florida State family, Seminole Nation, and the 863 tribe? It's your boy POLK, a.k.a. A-Low, a.k.a. the goddamn truth. It's the hangover. It's a Wednesday. So you know what time it is. Time to get this thing cracking. This past weekend, we had a scrimmage. I really haven't given my thoughts on it, so we're going to talk about that tonight. Unfortunately, we also got bad news tonight. Today, that we'll discuss tonight. Pisses me off, to be quite honest with you. And you know how we always get. We'll do the comment section, read the comments, answer questions. Y'all know how we rock. And y'all also know, before we get started, we do this roll call. But before we do that roll call, hit that like button, ring my doorbell. Y'all let me know y'all in the building. That's how you introduce yourself before you come in here. Hit my like button and share the video. Let people know that we are live. 26 people in the building. And I'm going to do another little reminder. If you're not a member of the 863 tribe, we will be doing a giveaway before Duquesne. You have until I'm gonna say the game Saturday. I really don't know if I have time Friday to do it. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing that Thursday. We'll figure it out. But we will be doing a giveaway before, or maybe, as a matter of fact, I just decided right now. You have until the end. You have until that, because you know how we do once college football starts. I'm live after every game, win, lose, or draw. You have until that live starts. Become a member of the 863 tribe. Get you part of that free giveaway. 3 giveaways this year. Beginning of the season, a middle of the season, and an end of the season. If we make the ACC championship, guess what? We doing another one. That'll be 4. If we make a bowl game, we doing another one. That could be 5 or 4, depending on if we make the ACC championship, and so on and so forth. You make the playoffs. That's what we're doing. So if you want to be a part of that, and again, these aren't, I don't, give away pens and pencils and stickers. The first giveaway we had was a hoodie, an FSU hoodie. The second one was a 4th and 14 shirt by way of Jordan Travis. So if you want gifts like that, haven't decided what this one to be. I'm leaning on a FSU fitted cap. Obviously not this one on my head that looks like Ron Dugan's hat, or that hat that your boy had on the table. That's what this one looked like. But I'm thinking about doing a hat for at least the first giveaway. So if you want to be a part of that, become a member of the 860 tribe. And you have until the end of the Duquesne. You have until the beginning of that Saturday night live stream. So y'all become a part of that. But let's not waste any more time with all of that. Let's hit this roll call. And then let's get into what we all came here to listen to and talk about. So let's scroll up in the comment section. Chad Kinsler in the building. Boxing Monster, member of the 863 tribe. Champ 99. Peter Shields, member of the 863 tribe. 226 Tim. EMG. Brandon Brazier. Florida State Love, member of the 863 tribe. Jen Fari. Montre. R. Davius. Anthony Cheers. Tyler Hedden, member of the 860 tribe. Kenny Hayden. Priscilla Chestnut, Jamal M, Joe Johnson, Kusami Hayes. And that looks like that's all we got here tonight. That's all we got. So, first and foremost, let's address the unfortunate FSU Rose member 863 tribe. Let's just address the James Ballard. There you go, guys, coming in late. Remember that? Well, sorry, James, you're not. I almost gave you a free membership. Unfortunately, yes, you did hit the nail on the head, though, James. The bad injury bug has happened, and unfortunately, it's happened to a player that I had high expectations of. Now, with that said, I'm gonna say what's being reported, and I'm gonna say what I believe. It was being reported that Maurice Smith was outplaying Kaden Lyles anyways. It was being reported that Kaden Lyles was going to be the backup anyways. And you can believe that if you want. I don't believe that for 1 second. I was pretty adamant that I didn't believe that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. No disrespect to some disrespect to FSU media, mainly War Chant. And if you don't like that, I don't care. You can feel free to unsubscribe and go elsewhere. The hell with War Chant. Anyway, I don't trust our media, even the individuals that I respect and listen to on occasion. I don't trust them that they even know sometimes what they're looking at on a football field. Excuse me, hit my mic. Maybe Maurice Smith was going to be the starter. I don't believe it. But Kaden Lyles has gotten hurt. I don't even know what the injury. So the first of all, the first reports of Kaden Lyles' injury actually came out on that Saturday. We were live, and I remember knocking on this table saying that the reports seemed to not have been true, and all these other things. And what's weird is on the video today, he was dressed out in full pads. He did have a knee brace on, but he was walking to practice. There's actually a video of him walking into practice, dressed out, ready to go. An hour or two later, he's done for the season. My guess is that the initial report on the injury was somewhat accurate. He tried to give it a go today in practice, and I don't think he could do what he needed. I don't think he could get it done. Okay, so I think the initial report was accurate. He could still walk on it, or whatever the case. So he tried to give it a go, and it didn't. Unfortunately, I think he just couldn't do what he wanted to do today at practice, and he probably decided to shut it down or whatever the case. Not too sure. It's kind of a weird situation in my opinion, because again, remember on Saturday those reports came out. People said they weren't true. Eventually, people came around and said, not so true. People jumped the gun. He had a little nick, but it wasn't that serious. Come Monday, here we are. Again, it's unfortunate. He was going to be a starter. I do not care what your favorite media outlet says. He was not. He was going to be the starter. Now, we'll see what happens with Maurice. Maurice came in the fall, 288 pounds. Maurice Smith is going to lose about 10 pounds this camp. Maurice Smith is going to be playing probably around the same weight he was playing last year, in the 270s. Sorry, but if that's the case, he's not going to hold up, just like he didn't hold up last year. The problem with Maurice Smith isn't necessarily his talent. It's that he's undersized, and he really hasn't been able to put on the size. His body wears down by the end of the season because he's only 270 pounds. That is the problem with Maurice Smith. He might have a first few games. By week 7 and 8, he's getting blown up as soon as he snaps the ball. We'll see. It's unfortunate. Again, that's the guy I said was going to be the starter. He definitely won't be the starter this year. We have depth. But if there's one position that I don't know we probably should be getting depth chart stuff, not this week, but by the beginning of next week, by the end of this week, they should probably have a depth chart in place by the end of this week. Next week's going to be all game stuff, right? We're going to be getting ready to play the first game of the season. But if there's one position on that offensive line that I'm not too sure the depth chart, it's probably center. Like, we thought it was going to be Kaden Lyles and then Maurice Smith, or maybe you guys believe that it was going to be Maurice Smith and Kaden Lyles. But now, do they move Darius Washington inside? I would argue maybe. I was on the fence of maybe even trying to sit Darius Washington out if you could, but maybe you move him to center and try to see, try to see if he can play, snap the ball consistently and do those things. From everything I've heard, a guy like Estes has been really worked at more of guard. They see him more of a guard. Do you try Estes at center? Can you move a Dimitri Manuel to center and then maybe a Schrader steps up and you put Schrader at guard? I think there's a lot of options that they have. Obviously, they're going to have the rest of this week. What is this, Wednesday? So they're going to have the rest of this week and next week to figure what they're doing at center. You got Alex Atkins, so I ain't worried too much about that. He'll figure it out. He'll get them right. But it's a little concerning, and it's unfortunate because I had high expectations, not only for Kaden Lyles, but the entire O-line. And this seems to be a bit of a setback. But I don't know. I feel like obviously you can't afford any injuries to your tackles, but I kind of feel like you couldn't afford any injuries to your, like, those probably two most positions on the offensive line, on any offensive line, right? Your tackle, your center. And unfortunately, we just got a blow to the center, who I had high expectations for. But before we continue to the scrimmage that was, let's hit to the comment section, guys, and see what y'all are saying. 52 people in here, man. Hit the like button. I ain't even checking the likes. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna check these likes because y'all been playing with my emotions a lot lately. I'll be an hour into a video, 80 people will be in here chilling with me, and I got 20 likes. So I got, before I even check these likes, guys, I got 53 in here. I better have 40 likes. I'll set the bar low today. Give me 40. I'm going to wait because I don't want to be disappointed. I'm going to wait a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to sip this water real quick. All right. Let's see if y'all showing me a little bit of respect tonight. Uh, 35 likes. See, this is like, and my parents, y'all know this, it's like when you tell a kid to do something and they halfway do it to try your gangster and see what you're gonna see. See, that's what y'all did there. I said 40 and y'all went 35. Y'all said, yeah, let's piss him off. Let's just get to 35 and see if he accepts. No, I want 40. 39. Give me one more and we can keep this show on the roll. One more. That's all I'm asking for. 56 people. Okay, 40. Thank you. That means there's still 16 people in here that for whatever reason don't want to hit my like button, but that's okay. Y'all just like looking at me anyway. Let's go to this comment section though. Jadon863 Tribe says, speak that truth. Marcus Lewis says, Estes better be ready. That Wake Maurice game, he probably done lost it already. I agree, Anthony. That's what I'm saying. That Florida Heat, the way them boys work, that boy probably already lost them little 288. He probably already lost 10 pounds. Let's see here. Haven't heard a peep out of Estes. Wouldn't get my hopes up. Probably, man. You're probably right. Lyles had slow feet. Again, have we watched it? Are you believing that, or that's just something that you heard somebody say? Like I said, I don't trust nothing them people reported. This time last year, they told you Travis J was the next All-American, and we saw how that played out. I don't believe nothing. Darius Washington can play center. Been hearing Gibbons might move to center. Don't like that. Then who are you putting at left guard, Rose? I think Robert Scott and Gibbons have a good chemistry right there. They're used to playing next to each other. I don't think you break that up. Just my opinion. That's just me though. I hear Washington, Smith, and Gibbons will be the top 3 competitors for the center position. Washington makes sense. We already talked about that. Darius makes sense. Obviously, Maurice Smith's going to be in the mix. Gibbons, I don't like because now you're saying, okay, you shift Gibbons over, but now what is your rotation at left guard looking like? That left side is always that, that's the blind side of the quarterback. Right now, you feel very comfortable that you have a solid left side of that line with Robert Scott and Dylan Gibbons. Now you're going to put a complete unknown next to Robert Scott. Because who would you guys put there? The people that are saying Gibbons, I'm not saying you're saying it, Rose or Kusama. I'm not saying that y'all are saying it, but y'all saying y'all been hearing it. So my only question would be, then who fills in Gibbons' spot? Emmanuel at center. I think he's built like a center personally. I mean, the guy's 6'2", 300 pounds. That's a center to me. I'm not throwing a towel in on him, but I think he needed this year to grow. That's why Kaden Lyles was such an important get. It gave Maurice a chance to grow. Now we're back to kind of square one, depending on what they do there. Appreciate you, John. I've been hearing great things about Armella. Do you think they would put Armella? So that is interesting, Kusami. Kusami makes a great point. Bama did this with Evan Neal. In Evan Neal's first year or two, I don't know about the second year, but I'm almost positive in the first year, he wasn't quite ready to be their starting tackle, but he was on the, you know what they did? They played him at guard. Is Armella good enough as a true freshman that you can move him into guard, move Dylan Gibbons over to center? I don't necessarily hate that move, Kusami. I think it protect that. Obviously, I've been saying I do not want to play any true freshman, but Armella looks the part. Okay, Armella's not a guy that we're going to be throwing out there at 280 pounds. Okay, he's a true freshman. He's already 315. He looks the part. He's already looking the part, playing the part. Is it possible that as a true freshman, you can still protect him, but you play him inside at guard? He can learn all the tricks of the trade at guard. That's interesting. That's interesting. POLK, I thought Schrader was doing pretty good at center before his injury last. Emmanuel probably, I think he's going to be the starting right guard. But again, so if you move him to left guard, now who's playing the right guard? You see what I'm saying? Put Big Meech at left guard and Washington at right guard. I'm not sold on Maurice, but if it'll take him, but F it, I'll take him. I bet Lyles was pushing him. Who is this dude? Who is this guy? Whose troll account is this? Who is this guy? NBA Young Boy Live. So you got to be a kid because no grown man would name himself NBA Young Boy. Whose troll account is that? Monitor that account. He gets too out of hand, get him out of here. I think it's possible. I think he might crack the 2 deep at some point. I agree, Kusami. I don't want to rush him out there. If Armella was here in the spring, he would definitely be a starter. LSU, like I said, man, monitor this dude. Rose might already kicked him out as far as we know. So, yeah, man, I mean, O-line rotation is about to get interesting with Lyles going down. Does Armella now get an opportunity to play guard as a freshman, you know? What about a Jalen Early? What about a Quayshawn Sapp? You got to think now Atkins is going to start pushing harder. What about a Lloyd Willis? We all think he's a tackle, but is it possible Lloyd? Can you can you move Lloyd inside? The same thing I'm saying about Armella. Could you do that with Lloyd? And of course, like I said, Schrader, Zane Herring, Brian Estes. You got options. Do you slide Bless Harris inside? I forgot about Turrentine. That's why you brought a Turrentine in. Maybe you push good. Maybe you do push Dillon to center and put Turrentine at guard. A lot of people don't like his quickness necessarily at tackle, but Turrentine's all a 6'7", 320. There's a lot of options, to be honest with you. There's a lot of options, and I think it's concerning because we don't know, right? I think it's concerning, but the more I think about it, the more I start thinking about names that I just forgot. I forgot about Turrentine, to be honest with you. And here we are. So, yeah, man. A few more comments, and then we're going to talk about the scrimmage that was and what we've heard. And we even talk about today's practice, because today's practice had there's some interesting comments about today's practice. And I would like to know everybody's thoughts on it. I think Bless Harris is a tackle, but I also think he could play both. I think you can move him in or out. Mark, I know Mark trolling, but he said slide Rodemaker inside. Does Rodor still on the team, bro? From what I'm hearing, though, Rodor. So you got to remember about Rodor. He was a basketball player in high school. And you brought him in. The reason he was a 4-star, I mean, he had the size, he had the athleticism, right? But I think he was always kind of looked at as a project, a guy that hasn't played a lot of football. So Rodor's he's got time. He's got some room to not only grow physically, but he needs probably to show more, want to. But Rodor is another guy, right? Rodor is still on. They have options. They got options. So here we go. This last Saturday, we had a scrimmage. We scrimmaged, and from all that was kind of put out there and told, scrimmage didn't look half bad. Looked pretty good in some areas. There's some names, man, that are starting to be routinely talked about, offensive and defensive side of the ball. And so I think if you're a Florida State fan, you should be intrigued. But I think we should also tempt some expectations, okay? Unless, and this is going to be kind of key for me, because there's a lot of talk on these receivers. And it's not surprising given where the receiving room was last year. It was absolutely terrible, and we knew it was bad at the beginning. At the beginning, we knew it was bad. That's why it was like Malik McClain, man. Good thing we got him. You didn't expect a big season from him, but it was like at least get that talent on the field, right? But this year, I mean, Johnny Wilson continues to be a name that is constantly mentioned. Deuce Spann's name was real hot there for a second. Micah Pittman, obviously, is always being talked about. Crazy thing is, we ain't heard much from Winston Wright, only because he ain't really doing any contact type of stuff. but we know he's in the shadows. Joshua Burrell and all these guys. You're hearing a lot of good names and a lot of good things. This is why I'm saying tempt the expectations. Unless, with the disclaimer, unless you think Jordan Travis is going to take a leap that we haven't seen, I don't want to say in the history of the sport, but anybody want to point to a time? Look at what Jordan Travis has been. And if you really believe this passing game is going to take off, do you really think Jordan Travis is going to go from a guy that was 1,500 yards or so to all of a sudden being a 3,000-yard passer? I'm not sure I do. And that's the only reason why I say let's tempt those expectations. That's the only reason why I say that. I think Jordan Travis is going to improve. Total yardage should be around 3,000. He should have a little over 3,000 yards of total offense, meaning running and throwing. But there's no way you're going to get production out of Deuce Spann, Johnny Wilson, Micah Pittman, Winston Wright, Ontario. Like, look at what we're saying or what we're expecting. And the realization that we don't quite have a quarterback that's going to throw the ball 40 times a game and put up over 300 yards of passing a game. Deuce Spann's going to be a weapon. But if I'm this coaching staff, you know how I use Deuce? I probably only draw up 3 or 4 plays for Deuce. I would say 4 to 5. And every time, straight go. You're taking the top off of defense. Whether or not we throw you the ball or not, we gonna have to give them something. We're gonna have to give that defense something to keep it honest. You're gonna have to account for that. Let them go downfield one-on-one if you want to. We're gonna burn you. Right? D-Thompson says JT is passing for 3,200 yards this season. Now, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe that. I do not believe that. If he throws for 3,200 yards and they continue to run him, first of all, to throw for 3,200, he ain't going to miss no games. Okay? 3,200 yards, he all of a sudden ain't going to forget how to run the ball. Running is what makes him the dynamic player that he is. So how many, before I say, D. Thompson, how many yards is he going to run for? If he's throwing for 3,200, how many yards is he going to run for? I gotta wait for D. Thompson to answer because I'm just curious. Because now you're talking about Heisman stuff. If he's throwing for 3,200, if he's throwing for 3,200 and running for another 500, this man said 700. Now you're talking about Heisman stuff. 3,200 passing yards, 700. That's 3,900 yards of total offense. Somebody said 800 yards. Mayan King a little bit more realistic in my opinion with the 400 to 600 because I kind of agree with that. I still don't think 3,200 yards is. No, D. Thompson doesn't troll though. That's the thing. But that's a Heisman candidate. And now all of a sudden, if Florida State has a Heisman candidate, come on, bro. Jordan Travis is going to go from a relative nobody to Heisman candidate. And Rose says, even those numbers, Rose, are Heisman-esque. Especially if he's doing that, we're winning games. I just, again, bro, I don't see it. I think Jordan Travis can throw for about anywhere from 26 to 2,800 yards, run for another 500 or 600 yards, and that's going to be a hell of a season for Jordan Travis. That's what I would say. But y'all saying that 3,200 stuff, man, that's wild. I mean, I'm glad you have great expectations. I'm glad we're optimistic. This is the time to tell all the lies you need to tell. And y'all are telling some great ones. I mean, Jeffrey Bell says he's going to run for 800. Hey, I would love to be wrong. Matter of fact, I hope all y'all are right. But wow. We have some high expectations for Jordan Travis, don't we? He running for 3,200 yards and what you say? 700 and running for 700, throwing for 32, running for 7. He probably having 10 plus touchdowns on the ground. I mean, last year he had 15 touchdowns So let's just double that. So over 30, so you're talking about almost 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. That's now 226 Tim. I think he's really dropping the ball here. The man threw for 1,500 yards last year, and he wasn't even the full-time starter. 19's piss poor. If he's throwing for 1,900 yards, we're not winning very many games. He's getting hurt, or he's missing games. He's missing games. 1,900 ain't gonna cut it. Anywhere from like 25 to 28, I think is what we need. 19 ain't cutting it. 19 ain't getting it done. 19 ain't getting it done. JT will total around 27 of total offense. Well, I think he had that. Yeah, that's just 27 total offense ain't good enough. I mean, I hear you, Tim, but you gotta. I mean, that all that comes along with it, right? I want JT to make plays, and we're in a position to win games. I don't care how many yards he has. Yeah, but to make plays, you have to have those yards. You can't name me one player in the history of the game that you can say, "Oh, he made a ton of plays, but he only threw for 1,000 yards and ran for 200." I'll give him 24 passes. I think that's a solid season. I ain't mad at those numbers, Kusami. He could definitely hit 50 yards mark. Raymond says JT is going to have to do something in order to save coach's job. If JT fails, coach fails. Well, hey, some would argue he's already a dead man walking, right? Of course, JT's going to have to do something to save the job. I mean, I'm not saying Jordan Travis is going to go out there and try his hardest, but 3,200 yards. Whew. I would love to see it. Say Travis ain't sitting in that pocket like that because Maurice getting pushed back. 20. Now that's a good number. I'm 27 and 27 and 7. So again, your receivers are getting a lot of hype. My only rebuttal to the receiver hype is, do we really think we're going to be throwing the ball 30 to 40 times a game? I don't think so. Still think we're going to be primarily a running team. Okay. With that said, let's move on from the JT and the wide receiver talk. Running backs reportedly had a good scrimmage. Tight end still up in the air. I don't recall hearing anything from the scrimmage on tight end. I know Brian Courtney was getting a little bit of talk in practice. Early Jabril Powers was getting some talk. I think it shows you how bad the tight end room, to be honest, that these two unranked freshmen came in here and made all these waves. But I didn't hear much about them from the scrimmage. If you go over to the defensive side of the ball, names like Patrick Payton are starting to be mentioned a lot more. Okay, Patrick Payton is starting to be mentioned a lot more on that defense, which is great because I think that's perfect for him to be in that 2-deep rotation, or I would even call it a 4-deep rotation. Not that they're necessarily 4 deep, but between Verse, Briggs, D-Mac, and let's throw Payton in there, I think you can rotate those 4, and any combination of those 4 can be effective, right? That's awesome to hear about Patrick Payton. And Byron Turner's another one who's getting a lot of mention now. So that's awesome to hear. You could throw Byron Turner in the mix, and now you got that, right? Of course, Jarrett Jackson. Jarrett Jackson's got a lot of praise this weekend for having a good scrimmage. And we already know what the 2 guys up top of that defensive tackle depth chart look like. Hey, and we know that Jarrett Jackson started coming on last year. So now if he's a legit third option, Him and Malcolm Ray, Farmer got a little bit of talk. But we knew that about this defensive line, right? We knew, okay, Jermaine, you can't replace Jermaine. You can't replace Kier. Um, but as a collective, you might have a better overall unit this year. Like we kind of knew that, and I don't think it's a surprise to be hearing that the D line looks good. The linebackers, Lundy's, the weight seems to have been a good thing for Lundy. The losing of the weight, because apparently he's flying around. Tatum Bethune got a lot of praise. The one guy that's kind of been quiet, believe it or not, is Deloach. Now, anybody can correct me in the chat, but the one guy that I feel like Lundy's getting a lot of praise, Bethune is getting a lot of praise. The one guy that's been eerily quiet, and this might not be a bad thing, it just might be, Lundy's improved so much, and Bethune is coming and kind of been what they hoped he would be. Deloach is kind of flying under the radar right here, right? I don't think Deloach is in any a threat of losing his spot, but it's interesting. It's interesting to point out. I actually heard Brandon Gant had a great scrimmage. I don't think that means anything during the season, if I'm being honest with you. But it's good to hear that Brandon Gant is out there. He's participating. He's giving it 100, and he's doing his thing. And he apparently had a great scrimmage, but I would not expect anything from Brandon Gant during the season. But they did say that, on some certain packages that they have, Brandon Gant might be more suited to play certain packages because he's the smaller of the linebackers, but still has DB skills and can still do some DB things. So that's interesting that Brandon Gant had a good scrimmage, right? That's interesting. And then, with that being said, somebody said, Mark said, what about Gainer? Well, y'all know how I feel about Amari Gainer. All the talent looks the part, but I don't know if he's a fit. We said that from day one of Adam Fuller's defense is I don't think Amari Gainer is a fit for this defense. They don't necessarily know how to use him. They still haven't quite figured out how to use him. He went from being an edge rusher to a guy they tried to stand up at backer. In this defense, I just don't think he's quite as effective at either. I think he's too small to be a D end. And I don't know if he has the instincts to stand up. So we'll still see what's going on with Gainer. And then let's move on to the DBs. With that being said, Sam had an interception. I actually missed one thing on the offense. So we'll circle back around to the offense. This ties in with Sam. But Sam had an interception. So Sam got a lot of praise for a good scrimmage. But we know those two freshman DBs are going to be taking jobs sooner rather than later. I said this. I said it when Brownlee was here, and I still believe it. One of those two freshman DBs will be the other starting corner next to Omarion Cooper. Omarion Cooper apparently had a great scrimmage as well. Omarion's been Cooper has been, from what I'm hearing out of the corners, been the most consistent. And you expect that out of a guy like Omarion Cooper. And everybody says he looks like the best corner out there. With that said, your boy AZ and Sam are coming. Like, potential and talent is just oozing out of those two. There's obviously they still have their freshman mistakes and still got some work to do, but you obviously see that's coming, and that's coming to a theater near you. And the safety position, man, we know that's the deepest position in that secondary is the safeties, and we don't expect anything but the best from Jamie and Akeem, and then even the guys bringing up the backups there. Shaheem Brown got a lot of talk in the scrimmage and post scrimmage, and of course we know some of these other guys at safety, Sidney and McClellan. We know what we got there, right? Then you still got other Ronaldo Green. I think I heard had a pretty good scrimmage as well. So that's plus. Apparently, Jerry Jones has looked great the entire camp, and I think they've even moved him. We were just we were trying to figure out who's our slot. We know we got Kevin Knowles, right? People were saying greedy Vance. I think the fact that they moved Jerry Jones inside is interesting. And that's what I've heard, that they've moved Jerry inside. So, and then I forgot to mention the quarterbacks. Duffy apparently started off extremely rough in the scrimmage. Of course, he's the one that threw that pick to Sam. So freshman on freshman violence right there. But apparently by the end of that scrimmage, your boy Duffy was turning some heads, making some throwing some dimes, and really impressing people. So I would say be patient with AJ. Again, don't expect AJ to come in here and be, Trevor Lawrence. But if Jordan Travis can stay, again, knock on wood, you don't want Travis getting hurt at all. But if the injury is going to come, I need it after week 6 or 7. Give AJ Duffy them 6-7 weeks to get ready. And I think if the injury is to come around that time, I don't think you go with Tate. I think you'd be better off throwing Duffy in that mix. That's just me, though. Let's get to some comments. John says, Polk, do I think JT remain healthy all season and play every game? I hope so. By the way, 82 people. Let me check my likes. Because I got 82 people in here. We're just going to keep the trend going. I should have 70 likes. I'll just go with 70. Okay, I got 64. So I need some of them new people that's rolling up in here to hit my like button. Some players show out during the game and not show out in practice. That's what Duke, LT, and Deloach are. I've heard good things about Duke, so I don't know where that's coming from. I think people are so obsessed with AZ that, but we'll see. But Deloach is the one that is kind of like, what's going on there? But again, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing that we're not hearing anything. I think it's, and I agree with you a little bit there, Timmy. Like, some players aren't practice players, but the lights come on, they do their things. And some players are dope practice players, and they disappear on game day. So, Polk, I want to talk about that Trump fence in the state of Miami. How Texas just snatched the South Florida running back. You mean Cedric Baxter, who was once committed to us? Hey, he from Orlando. He ain't South Florida. I think he's from Orlando. Either way, I know Sarkisian better get it done. He recruiting, you doing this thing. And I know that's the first thing somebody going to say is NIL, and it don't even matter. Sark better win some football games. People forget they went 5-7 with a loss to Kansas last year. Somehow they recruiting like this. NIL or no NIL. Sark better get it done. Jamal M says, either Armella is pretty legit or Verse not really that dominant. We need Jarrett to be dominant. Listen, guys, I tried to tell y'all about Jarrett Verse, and people said I didn't like him or I was a hater. He's going to need adjustment. First of all, I think Armella's good. Good. There's a reason he was ranked as high as he was. I think Julian Armella is the real deal. But I also think Jarrett Verse is going to take a little bit of time to adapt. Y'all want him to be dominant. I don't think you're going to get dominant at it. Now, of course, he has, by all means, would love for him. That's the beautiful thing about this game we call football. You go out there every Saturday and get a chance to shut people like me up. And I'm not saying anything bad about Verse. I just think he's going to take some time to adapt, adjust, get ready to the Power 5 game. I don't expect anything dominant. Can he show flashes of dominance this year? Absolutely. But I don't expect Jarrett Verse to come in here and dominate game. Maybe he should dominate Duquesne. I'll give you that. But I don't expect dominance, man. I don't expect dominance. And I've been trying to tell y'all that since day one. Just be patient with some of these guys. But collectively, can him and D-Mac be a good 1-2 punch unit? Yeah, absolutely. Both AZ and Sam are big. Jerry Jones still here. Oh God! But they moved him inside, so we'll see. I'm not buying the Jerry and Jones hype. He got to prove it to me. But apparently he healthy. You know, it's always when these guys are struggling, they're always playing through injuries that somehow we never knew about. So we'll see what happens with Jerry, man. Y'all might as well. If you ride the Demore Tate bus, unfortunately, I think you might want to park it. It would not shock me if by mid-season he's hitting the portal. Like, I think if you want to talk about who's the next player on this team to hit the portal, it might be a Demore Tate. Hopefully this team is putting it all together. That's what everyone who is seeing the team is selling. Duffy Train in the building. Why the Brownlee transfer? Y'all can have him. I'm glad y'all got him too. I don't think you've heard any one Florida State fan say, dang, we wish we still had Jarvis Brownlee. But shout out to Louisville. Shout out to Louisville. I'm glad y'all got him. Joe Johnson, they saying JJ been showing up and showing out. Safe to say D Tate is a bust, huh? Can who be 26 Francois? 26, 16 Francois. I don't know who you're talking about. Jurg was on the show bumping his gums about how UT Brand can't get recruits from Miami. That's between you and Jurg. Jones, yeah, I know. He said he was hurt. Robert, what's up? He says, Pope, do you think our linebackers are going to look? I think they're going to be solid. You mean like who do I think is going to play linebacker, or do I think the unit is going to look good, bad? I think it'd be a solid unit though. Where's Trey? Trey. Jay is at safety, I believe. I think they moved him back to safety, but he's still on the team. I hate these type of comments. Only reason he didn't go to Miami because he wasn't going to start. Man, shut up. Cedric Baxter would have went to any school, and he's gonna. I'm not saying he's gonna start. There ain't no guarantee he's gonna start at Texas. He's gonna go in there and compete, and he would have did the same thing in Miami. Stop it. See, here we go. Now they got 1,010,000 running backs. Any update on? Yeah, I was just talking about Peyton. Apparently looking good out there. Mayan King says practice. We talking about practice. What would you like to talk about? That's all we got to go off right now is practice. Bro, I'm telling you, I don't want to say that. Anytime I see 7 on the field, I get scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. And if I was the offensive coordinator and I saw 7, my eyes would light up. I could see us doing a lot of things this year. Can Duffy be 2016 Francois? Problem is Duffy don't have a Dalvin Cook in the backfield with him. Well, Tim's the only one that still wishes we had Brownlee. So you and Tim can talk about Jarvis Brownlee because he's the only one that still wants him. Travis J is at safety, unfortunately. Now, whether or not I think he's a safety or not, but they moved him back to safety. Someone said, Brain Tick says, do you see FSU beating LSU? They have every opportunity to win that game. New coach. From what I hear, they breaking in damn near an all-new secondary in LSU. Damn near an all-new offensive line. They got a lot of things in LSU that goes in our favor, from the new coaching to position groups, breaking in a lot of true freshmen and first-time starters. Yeah, we can beat them. We'll see what Mike does. No, we did not. Citizens, Parrish, Knighton, Cheney, Franklin. Okay, like 5 of those guys probably nobody's ever heard of before. So, but that's cool. Do you know what happened to the Wake Forest? No. So VJ brings up a good point, and we'll address it because I mean that makes that Wake Forest game probably a whole lot easier, right? But the news is unfortunate, and anytime you hear news like this, it's really concerning because he it's not a football related injury, and it's like an undisclosed medical issue. So you never like to throw stuff out there because sometimes words have power. So I don't want to put anything out there, but it's it's um it's concerning. I hope whatever it is isn't that serious, right? But he's out indefinitely, and I guess until they figure out what's going on. So that's tough. That's tough. LSU strengthens their D line, so our O line will have to be on point with their A game. Mark said that was a bad take. I don't know if he's talking to me or someone else, but it's okay. I have bad takes sometimes. Most Canes should be rooting for the Noles against LSU. I don't know why. But John Shields probably knows. A dumb question, my bad, but how I joined the tribe. So this always confused. You know what? The people in the chat tell me this every time, and I always forget. From the phone, I honestly can't help you. I forget every time. I don't know how to do it from the phone. But if you're on your computer, it's pretty easy. I actually think, let me see if I have this. I think if you're on your phone and you try to do a super chat, you can join from that. So try to do one of the super chats, and I think it says membership or something like that. And I think that's how you join from your phone. You can actually do the same from your computer, but you can also go just to my YouTube page, the front page on the computer, and join from there as well. But I always forget how to do it from the phone. Florida State Love says, what do you think about that new running back we got, Singleton? That was a needed pickup. That was a needed pickup. I'll say that. Hate seeing Baxter and other top 50 guys lead the state. College football is fun for the big three teams. Well, that's been going on for a while. And we'll see, man. What happened the last time the Canes played LSU? And Ricky Collins committed to LSU. I hope you guys weren't really thinking that Ricky Collins was still. If you're, sometimes I don't know, man. Y'all got to stop listening to certain people. You knew the moment he decommitted from Purdue where he was going. If you had some type of false hope, you just do nothing but hurt yourself. You are the creators of your own misery. And Tim says, how you're going to judge Jordan being a bad corner if he ain't played nickel last year? We gotta wait and see if he can play nickel this season. Timmy, sometimes I'm happy, man, that you're very optimistic. I'm not gonna lie. We probably need more fans like you, but sometimes, man, you kill me in the comment section. I'm sorry. I actually skipped a super chat from Hurricane Speed. Give me a minute, Hurricane Speed. I'm gonna come back up to that. But what do you mean? How can we judge Jerry Jones of being a bad corner? We've watched him for 2 years straight be barbecue chicken burnt toast. What do we need? 3 years of watching him get burnt? Seriously, do we need 3 years of Jerry Jones getting burnt before we say, you know what, man, Jerry Jones just ain't got it? Keep that optimism, though, man. More people need that type of optimism. Keep that. Good God. Let me get back up here to Hurricane Speed. With the $10 donation, my man, he says it's going to be a fun year without a doubt. And we all say that at the beginning of every year. And hopefully we all have some stuff to cheer about this year, right? But, man, I appreciate your donation. And since you're a Hurricane fan, I got something great for you, man. Thank you for the dono.
What's in my pocket, dog? Big face Honda. Just left them all. Bought everything that I wanted.
Let me go back down. What's our QB recruiting looking like? Ardavius. When we missed out on Brock Glenn, that was it, big dog. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry. Now, does something open up? Here's the thing. Season still has to be played. Here's the thing. There's talks that Florida State could try to get. Miami's got 2 quarterbacks. Obviously, you ain't gonna get Rashada, but there's the other guy, Emery or whatever. There's talks that, and I think he's actually lives or he's from the Panhandle. So there's talks Florida State might try to get in that and try to talk to that kid. But he's low ranked. Good luck. And the quarterback recruiting is what it is. They're going to be in the portal. They're going to be in the portal. We'll put it like that. Pope, should we have a balanced offense of the Duquesne game, or would you rather see JT or other QBs light it up in the passing game? Run your offense for about a quarter. You don't need to go. You shouldn't have to go on your bag of tricks for this game. You shouldn't have to do anything too complex. Run your offense for a quarter or two. I mean, this thing should be over 35-0 in the first half, something like that. And if you want to get your boys out there, the Duffy and your Rotomakers out there in that second half and have them air it out a little bit, I wouldn't be mad at that. Bro, you need us to look better. Last time I checked, we beat y'all the last time we played. So how the hell y'all need us to look better? Need us to look better, but y'all taking L's to us. Interesting take there, John. That was actually Brownlee that gave us our worst loss in history, but here we, Oh, there you go. What do you think I changed? I think if we come out the gate strong, I think we got a good chance. I think Akeem wants to be here. I said this before. I think Akeem wants to be here, but I think he also wants to make the best business decision. With that said, if he wants to make the best business decision, I ain't saying Florida State's the place for you, but I know Texas A&M isn't. And this ain't got nothing to do being anti-Jimbo, but I want you to show me how many wide receivers Jimbo's got drafted over the years. Because I can only name you like 2, and they were on the same team together. Tim says Akeem was getting burnt when we was at corner. Now he elite at safety. I wouldn't call him elite, but it also took Akeem Dan a couple years to get it together. I hear you. The difference with Akeem is Akeem played a different position every single year of his career. Right? Yeah, I remember he came in when we had Taggart with the different defensive coordinator. I believe year 1 with Taggart actually had him at safety. Somebody can correct me, but I'm almost positive as a freshman he played safety and actually looked promising as a safety. Then they moved him to DB where he did not look good, only to move him back to safety. But remember, he didn't start the season off at safety last year, or at least he wasn't the starter at safety last year before getting in there. I think it took a Sidney Williams injury for Dent to get in a rotation, and then he never let it go, which is what you like to see, right? You get an opportunity to take control of it. The difference there is Jerry Jones has been consistently at the same position under the same defensive coordinator since he's gotten here. They want to blame last year on injury, so we'll see. I bet you if Duke at nickel, you understand that your nickel and your boundary and your field, those guys are asked to do different things. right? So Asante was what in college? And then what is he in the NFL? Uh yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. Um None really, and I like Jimbo. That's what I'm saying. He probably shouldn't pick A&M if he wants to make a business decision. I don't think he's a safety just because I don't think that Jay is physical enough. With that said, we'll see. And how much sacks verse need to be all ACC? To be all ACC? First team, second team, what? But to be all ACC, you need to be, and that's, I would 7, 8, 7+ range. Okay, this is what I'll say, because Timmy gonna die on this hill. Jaron Jones is a bad man corner. Period. Point blank. That's the end of that discussion. He's a bad man corner. If you think maybe he can do better in a cover 3 or some type of soft zone, you may be correct. He's a bad man corner. That's what they play here. That's what we do here. Your guys on the outside man up. So if you can't man up, and as far as your nickel goes, what do you think they do? The same thing. Yeah. Man, John, you was being cool until you said that dumb shit. Shut that up. I want to hear that shit. Why was Travis J being talked about last camp, Tim? Again, you keep listening to the guys you like. It's America, brother. You can listen to whoever you like. Those same guys that are praising Jerry Jones, guess what they did last year? They told you Travis J was the next Jalen Ramsey All-American. And here we are, a year later. Jay ain't even being on the depth chart. It took one game against Notre Dame to expose Travis J for what he was. So you listen to who you want to listen to. Hey, those guys are at practice. They know what they're looking at. They do this every year. I'm just a guy on YouTube, light-skinned dude on YouTube, bro, that just talk. I don't know nothing. I don't know what I'm talking about. You are free to listen to whoever you want. Let them pump up Jerry Jones all they want. The same way they pumped up Travis J last year. Absolutely. Jerry Jones, matter of fact, y'all got it. Y'all got it from Tim. Jerry Jones is gonna be all ACC this year. Bro, I'm not even talking about War Chant. But you guys know who War Chant is, one of those ones selling y'all Jerry Jones dreams, though. What else we got, guys? But that's pretty much what we wanted to hit on, man. Kaden Lyles situation sucked or sucks. Scrimmage happened. And now we working, I think this week, they probably working through some depth chart stuff. And by the beginning of next week, I think you should see the depth chart and they're going to get ready for some game stuff. As a whole, I'm excited about the team. For the first game, starting receivers might be Malik, Ontario, and Johnny. I don't think it matters, Jamal. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters who the starters are. I think they're going to rotate a lot of receivers, especially that first game. On that first game, I think you're going to get. I'm going to get to you, Anthony, because you just made a great point. Because, yeah, them same people are doing that too. But I think the first game, you're going to see I think the first game, you're going to see all of those guys play. And I don't really think who starts is going to matter. We'll see at the end of that game who gets the most snaps. But POLK's going to play. Pittman's going to play. I think Portier and Williamson are gonna play. Burrell should play. I think everybody's gonna get burned. I think everybody's gonna get burned for that one. Yeah, I said that. It ain't just War Champ, but there you go. Tim, I know it. Jerry Jones is the man. That's exactly what they've been saying too. And it ain't just War Chant saying that. Oh, there's people telling you Tate Rodemaker is the truth all of a sudden. They've been selling Tate Rodemaker stock. I'll say buy that if you want to. And to be honest with you, you want to know something? You want to hear something real crazy? You want to hear something real crazy? I got more faith in Tate than I got in Jerry. So there's my bad take. Yeah, I saw that. I bet he picked up one of them recruits tonight, didn't he? I think they flipped the linebacker from South Carolina. I saw 37-13. Man, you ain't see that. Please put that. What site? What site? 37-13 Duquesne. Okay, Mike. Let Mike, you go ahead and lose 37-13 to Duquesne if you want to, buddy. I would love to see Tim defend a 37-13 Duquesne win. He'd probably give it a shot, though. Forgot about Jakai, but Jakai should get a lot of playing time as well. They both should play, absolutely. Spanning the slot is not what I would... when you want to put Span on the outside, match him one-on-one, and see if you can get something over the top. The problem with the slot is... your route running's got to be a little bit more precise in slot. Okay? There's too much traffic down there. You can try to run a go route in the slot, but it's just, I don't know. Put him on outside. He ain't that good. He ain't good enough to be working in the slot. You can try to get a mismatch, but he's gonna have safety help. Backer's gonna be able to chip him in the slot. Nah, we're good. Put him on the outside. Put him one-on-one with a DB, and we'll go from there. I saw a site 37-13 FSU wins versus Duquesne. That score would have been. I think most Florida State fans would be very disappointed with that score, Tim. I think most Florida State fans would be very. I think I would be. Now, granted, that's just a score, right? You got to actually sit down and watch how that game unfolds. Let's say it's 37-0 at halftime. And in the second half, with all the backups in, they struggle. And then, again, with all the backups in, they give up 13 points. Might be less concerning. I might be less concerned. But I would have to see how that game played out, a 37-13 win. You lose that game 37-13 if you want to. I'm not at FSU anymore, but I wonder how Purdue will look at Nebraska. He's not at. You're talking about Purdy. From what I hear, Purdy's like third string. Yeah, Purdy's like third string. Purdy left here, where, in my opinion, Chubba Purdy would have had a legit quarterback battle this year. In my opinion, I think Chubba Purdy would have gotten a legit shot to win the job. Whether or not he was good enough to beat Travis is a whole nother conversation, right? But this is a guy who in 3 years of college ain't even been able to participate in one spring camp. First year because of COVID. Last year, injury. This year, he decides to transfer and doesn't join. So with that being said, I think he would have got a legit shot to have a chance at starting, and he decided to go to Nebraska and be a third stringer. Ain't that wild? Should be 0 for Duquesne. Or David said no 13 by any means. Said Yahoo said that. And Tim says if Purdy was here, he thinks they'd start over JT. I think he had a legit shot. I don't know if he would have beat out Travis. It's kind of wild that you go to Nebraska and you're not even the second string guy. I don't know if that means you think higher of Purdy or you don't think that high of JT, but that's interesting. Norvell likes to hit his go routes out of the slot. With Ja'Kai and stuff, I hear you because he did it with Ja'Kai. He's done actually ran that play for Ja'Kai plenty of times. I hear you. I just don't know. I just don't know. Timmy's high on Purdy. And then Johnny can move good for size. It's going to be a mismatch. And then GS Vlog says, how are you? How are you, sir? But I don't know, man. What do you guys, as we try to, let's get the conversation back rolling. Because we still got some time. We've only a little bit over an hour, and I'm still feeling pretty good. I don't know about y'all. I don't know. What are you guys expecting for the rest of this camp? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? Who are some players that concern you that you haven't heard much of? Who are some players that I think we'll start with that. Who are some players that maybe you expected more of and you haven't quite heard enough from them? You know, who are some of the players that you guys think or expected more from this year, and them being quiet in camp has you a little concerned, right? So that would be the question I ask you guys in the chat, and I'll give you guys time to type and answer those. I've been saying I would love for us to go to the Big Ten. I agree, Anthony. I agree with that. Absolutely, which is why, and I honestly don't know if Benson gets 1K, but that's why I think some of these numbers y'all were putting out for Jordan Travis earlier in the show, some of these numbers y'all were saying 3,200 yards and 800 yards rushing, I feel like is a little bit ridiculous. But obviously, if Benson's running for 1K and we think Trayshawn Ward's going to be in that, I don't know, 500 range, you know, I don't expect JT to have 600-700 yards rushing as well. I got a better chance at starting a car without a battery than Purdy starting over Travis. All you got to do is call Kevin Gates. Apparently, he can jumpstart batteries with his hands. Is Cam injured? Not that I'm aware of. So I guess that's your answer, Panama. Haven't heard much from Cam McDonald, have we? I agree with that. Cam McDonald's been eerily quiet. Don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but again, tight end room's a joke as a whole anyway. So honestly, nothing I hear about the tight end rooms gets me excited or disappoints me. I quite frankly don't care about the tight end room. I agree with that. No more injuries. Kaden Lyles is one too many. We're not even going to address loading. Toafili has been quiet. Has he? I don't know. I think they just really, really like. I think everybody's so hyped about Benson, but we'll see. Y'all know I'm an LT fan, and I believe Toafili's going to surprise some people. Gainer, yeah, we talked about Gainer, but does that really concern you though, Ray Fitty? Or is it just, you're a Gainer fan, so you rooting for him? But does that concern you? Does Amari Gainer concern you? Because it doesn't really concern me, because again, I didn't have high expectations. Demore Tate, again, that doesn't concern me because I didn't have high expectations. I'm telling you guys, park that Demore Tate bus. Or take it to the pound, take it to the junkyard. I think that Demore Tate bus is it is what it is, bro. I don't think we'll ever see him play. Unfortunately. And I'm rooting for him, but the writing's on the wall. I think I have a pretty decent history of calling these transfers, you know. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, McClendon, again, everybody, that's another player, man, that everybody's so focused on verse. But McClendon's having a very good camp. We just kind of pick and choose who we so focused on that some of these guys fly under the radar. But McClendon's having a good camp. McLean's having a good camp. That's another guy. Again, we so focused on Johnny and Deuce. The truth is, I think most people will tell you McLean has actually probably been the best receiver on the team this camp. And it's okay. I'm not, coming at you, Joe. But I understand, like the new toys are the most exciting ones. But I'm telling you, McLean has not been under the radar this camp. If this season don't go well, knock on wood, and Norvell gets the boot, who are y'all considering? I'm not even getting into the coaching discussion. I think I've done that a million times. William says Toafili as well. There you go there. Marcus say, no, he hurt for real. I'm not sure who Mark is talking about. Cam has missed time. He was in a boot. Okay, so Cam might actually be hurt, which I didn't know. So he might be hurt. If that is the case, again, I'm fortunate for Cam McDonald. Don't want to downplay that. He was obviously going to be your best tight end. But again, do we have high expectations for the tight ends anyway? So what does that change? What does that change? So apparently Cam's been hurt. No, Joe. I said, who have y'all not heard of that you were expecting to hear more of? But so McLean was the guy you were saying that you're excited about. Okay, that's fair. Okay. I don't really care much about hearing of somebody. Were we hearing about Duke, Deloach this time last year? To be fair, though, Tyler, Deloach didn't catch on till late in the year. And same with Duke. Duke actually was hurt this time last year. But I get your point, though. What you're saying is like, Duke was hurt this time of year, and look what happened. Is there a player that, just like those two, who are kind of under the radar and eventually come out? Hopefully, though, I would just like to see guys get more. I hope guys emerge sooner. That's just the optimism in me. No, he talked about who been quiet. That's why they were saying Amari, LT, Demore. Okay, now. Well, I've called him wide receiver 1 from the jump. So I think it's essential for Florida State as a program that McLean is wide receiver number 1, first and foremost. So nothing out of Big Coop. Oh, man. Coop, those guys, Coop, love it. You're not going to hear much about those guys in camp. But believe me, they are setting the tone. Shaheem Brown's been quiet. Well, they just did an interview with him today. Apparently he had a solid scrimmage. But again, with Shaheem, I don't know if there was much expectations Shaheem, in my opinion, gets the benefit of playing in one of the deeper rooms, so you can still be patient with him. So yeah, let's talk about that, and then Boxing Monster brings it up. I know there's a little bit of a troll there, but he is making a point, and we're going to talk about that, and then that'll be the last thing we cover. Apparently today, the offense destroyed the defense in practice today. Apparently today, Jordan Travis looked like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Jameis Winston all tied up in one knot, and you ask again, good old Florida State media, Jordan Travis just had his Jameis Winston moment like Jameis had in the spring game. Yeah, Jordan Travis just had that moment in fall camp. I don't know what to take from that. I think it's cool. I think it's good to hear that the offense got some wins, as they've pretty much been saying that the defense has been fairly dominant most of fall camp. Obviously, in football, those guys on the other side of the ball, they're on scholarship. They want to win matchups. They want to look good. They've got pride. So it's good to hear that they had a practice where they dominated, so to speak, or really came out and did their thing. So it was good to hear that the offense did their thing. I don't know how much you really take from it. I don't know how much you take from the fact that, oh my God, this was the best Jordan Travis had ever looked, and he made some incredible throws. I mean, show me the tape if that's the case. I just want to see the tape. Don't tell me about it. Let me see it. Johnny Wilson was, like Brandon saying in the comments, Johnny Wilson was dominant today. That's awesome. That's good. I am very even keel. I am excited, and I'm always excited about football season. I'm always optimistic at the beginning of it, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really got to see this team put it together on the field. I really got to see them put together on the field. And I am at the point where I don't believe anything I hear. News, yes. But when it comes to actual evaluating the players on the field, I don't care what any of those guys say. I need to see it for myself because I don't trust their eyes. I can't trust their eyes because they've lied too many times about what they think they know. So I don't believe it. Well, I won't say I don't believe it. Do I think Jordan Travis had a good practice? Sure. But is it what they talking about? Like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. I don't know, man. Our media has a way of really overblowing stuff. And then when it comes back around that they were wrong, they'll deflect it in a way that I think everybody had unrealistic expectations. Motherfucker, because y'all gave us those expectations with the way you blow stuff out of proportion. But I'm not going to go too far into my my war on FSU media. That's between me and them. But yeah, I don't trust that crap. At least not how they portray it. Do I think they had a good practice day? Yes. Do I think offense did a good job? Yes. Do I think Johnny's doing his thing? Absolutely. But again, they're going to blow it up. And then when it comes back around this time next year or later on in the season and guys aren't being what they claim they were, they're going to say the fans are the ones that had the unrealistic expectations. Somebody said Krayshawn Sapp, freshman, don't expect much. He's probably not even getting much burn with the ones. Antavius Woody, same thing. I mean, that guy came on late, right? Don't expect much from him this year. JT heard War Chant and them guys talking about Roadmaker from 2 Breeze practice, so JT wasn't having any of it. Like to see Brandon Gant pick it up some to give us some depth. They say they had a good scrimmage. You don't have to believe me though, Timmy. I've said this a million times, bro. I don't know what I'm talking about. You don't have to believe me at all. I am just a dude on YouTube. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just check the receipts. You don't have to believe me. How long have I been doing this YouTube stuff, guys? A few years. I want you to just go check the receipts. Told you Eubanks wasn't a Florida State caliber player. Told you Kobe Bryant wasn't a Florida State caliber player. Told you what Adam Fuller's defense was going to end up looking like. You could just check the receipts. I'm not always right. I thought Warren Thompson was going to be something, and I was dead wrong. You know, so we get things wrong, obviously. But I guarantee you, I won't say guarantee, but for a guy that doesn't have access to practices, I was wrong about Milton too. But, you know, for a guy that doesn't have access to the practices, compare what I say to the guys that do and see who gets it right most of the time. William says, I agree with you, Pope. The way they were talking last year, I thought we were going to a bowl game. Wide receivers outside of transfers further proving Rubens has an issue developing talent. Have heard anything noteworthy of the other guys that we brought in FSU from, I think you're trying to say high school there, Myron? HDIS, right? Is that what you're saying? Just a light, yeah, just a light-skinned dude on YouTube, bro. Bro, I did not say that, Rose. Don't do that. Don't stir up old stuff, bruh. Don't do that. Don't do it. But yeah, man, that was today's show. Again, man, hit that like button. Somebody help me out. Whatever happened to that wide receiver that we recruited out of South Carolina? Oh, Joshua Burrell. He was hurt last year. So he was out all last year. He's been rehabbing back, and he should have a chance to play this year. But yeah, he was hurt last year. No one. Why do you think? Why do you think Ward Chan is $1? $1 for 12. Why do you think? Get out of here, man. The last 2 seasons has. Well, of course it does. Has to. Your coach is in a position where he needs to start proving some stuff, right? Does Feast, I forgot all about him. I really think he's just a depth guy. Could be wrong there. I saw some clips of him practicing today. I think it was today. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to come in and take a spot from Renardo. But I think he's probably backing up Renardo. Oh, God. Get this dude out of here. Being a weirdo. He's either backing up Duke or Ronaldo. I don't know. I think he's gonna come in. He's gonna push some guys, but I don't know. We'll see. I watched a little bit of his clips at Jacksonville State, and nothing really. I don't know, man. Nothing really looked like. Nothing really looked like. Like it popped off the screen for me, but that's just me. Norvell, ACC Coach of the Year. I mean, if he wins some games, sure, I'm all for it. I would love to see it. If he's winning the Coach of the Year in the ACC, that means we winning a bunch of games. If he's winning Coach of the Year, we're at least winning 9-10 games. So I'm all for that. Pope was hating on Odell. I tell the truth, and I still stand by what I said about Odell. Show me the last blue chip he's landed. I'll wait. He's one of the few recruiting, and he hated on Fuller. Has Fuller shown any reason not to? But the defense, I wasn't a Dilly supporter either. we can do this all day. I'm not saying I'm not wrong. I'm wrong plenty of times, but hey. Ronaldo gets playing. Ronaldo hasn't been burnt toast. Ronaldo's been hurt. Bro, you can't win this debate, but continue, Timmy. Oh my God. Continue. This man's comparing Ronaldo Green being injured to Jerry and Jones being bad on the football field. Whew. I was not hating on Odell. I told the truth. That boy is not a blue chipper. That boy is the 600 rank. Stop, Tim. Anyway, no, I told the truth about Odell, and I stand on what I said. Again, name me the last blue chip guy he's brought in. He had a chance to shut me up, and Tyrese West went elsewhere. Jordan Hall, I told y'all, he land Jordan Hall, I will shut up. We'll see what happens with that one. He's recruiting some solid players. Don't get me wrong. I like Bishop Thomas. I like Daniel Lyons. I like Joshua Farmer. All I've ever said was where Odell was, he's no longer there. Where the clip he used to recruit, we used to get the best. We used to land the Timmy Jernigans, the Eddie Goldmans, the Mario Edwards, the Derek Nandis, the Everett Dawkins, the Marvin Wilsons. Those were the guys. Where have all those guys gone? It doesn't mean I don't like the guys that we've brought in, but Joshua Farmer was a defensive end who came into college at 250, and they've bulked up over, Daniel Lyons, Bishop Thomas, good guys. That I like the guy they brought in late, but he wasn't no blue chipper. Y'all really want me to get in here, bro? Timmy is ridiculous. He is ridiculous, bro. But seriously, bro, I stand on what I said about Odell. But Odell, like everybody, just like these players on the field, you got a chance to prove me wrong. Odell ain't got nothing to do but recruit better players and get a chance to prove me wrong. This year, he's doing a great job so far. He's actually got a blue chip defensive tackle signed this year. Again, I want Jordan Hall though, because that's the caliber of player I'm used to seeing we get at defensive tackle. Bro, y'all can't tell Timmy nothing, bro. Timmy Jones, bro. I can't tell Tim nothing. You understand that he was ranked 600 in the 23 class. Like, you do understand at the time that he reclassified, he was in the 600s in the 23 class. I just want to be clear that you understand that. What would surprise me more? A 1-4 start would shock me. 4-1, not so much. Beyond 1-4, oh my God. Doing a good job so far, man. He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job developing, I guess. I mean, Coop been here 6 years, so I mean, you got to develop Coop. Coop been here 6 years. Fabian Lovett looks awesome. Jarrett Jackson's looking good. I think Odell's doing a great job coaching. Don't get me wrong. But you still got to recruit. The name of the game is recruiting. You got to recruit, man. I know y'all love Odell. Y'all going to battle me. I give y'all credit. That's one thing that the fan base and the people that watch me on a regular basis, if there's one thing y'all have united against me about, is that damn Odell Higgins. Y'all ain't going to let me talk bad about Odell. And I actually respect that. I appreciate y'all for that. I still my truth, but I hear y'all. Y'all ain't going to let me talk bad about no Odell. I hear you, champ. I hear you. See, y'all ain't going to let me talk bad about Odell. Get out of here. Y'all know that's a troll comment. Do your thing, Timmy. That's what you gotta do. Stand beside Jerry, and like everybody else standing beside Odell. I'm with you. Oh, if we start 1-4, there's no way he makes it through the season. No, I haven't heard a peep about Chambry Jackson. Okay. Again, all this stuff comes out after the fact. A wise man once told me, if you on the field, there's no excuses. Don't come after the fact and say you was hurt. That's just what a wise man told me. You might not believe that, Tim. You might believe, you got it. If you're on the field, you can make the excuse that you was hurt. Last time I checked, if you hurt, don't play. If you're injured, don't play. Because what you think gonna happen? You're gonna get embarrassed. If you're good enough to step on that field, you're good enough to catch this criticism. But again, Tim, stand by your dog. Bro, he was hurt. That's a nice party bus Miami got down there, though. I ain't gonna lie. That junk kind of dope. Am I lying, William? Am I lying? I'm gonna leave him alone for now. Oh, Gatson. Yeah, he's gonna get. I think he's crystal ball to us. Tavion Gatson. I think that's his name. Another kid that I like. I think I like the body. I think he's like 6'3", 6'4", 280 is what they got him listed at. So big kid, got room to grow, fill out. But he's also ranked like 500, 600 too, though. Again, cool. But y'all, hey, I'm gonna shut up. Matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and end this thing. I appreciate y'all, man. We went a little longer than I want because we had to get on this Odell thing, but I appreciate y'all for coming in here tonight, doing this another episode of The Hangover. As always, man, hit that like button if you haven't hit it. We had up to 80 people in here. Let's see what them likes. Okay, we got up to 90 likes, so I'm liking that. 90 likes, man. I don't even think I saw 90 people in here at that. But I ain't mad at 90 likes though. Shout out to y'all in the y'all got me up to 90 likes. So shout out to that. Again, share the video. If you didn't catch the show from the jump, obviously feel free to rewatch it. As always, man, thanks everybody who came in here, showed up, showed love. I'm excited for football season, y'all. So we getting close. And like I said, y'all know me. Win, lose, or draw. I'm out here. I'm going to be talking to y'all, either extremely happy or pissed off. Win, lose, or draw, though. I don't miss it. As always, it's your boy POLK over on 863 Seminole TV. Stay classy, Seminoles. And we out here. Go Noles.